What up, everyone? We are back after an amazing performance from Lacey Johnson. What up, Lacey?
Hello.
And
I'm back.
And with us is our awesome stage manager, Alyssa. So, like I said before, if you've not been to our awesome Orlando shows, like you saw a peek of how we roll. Alyssa is our stage manager behind the scenes there, but also on the Twitch channel. So, some of you guys in the chat are performers at past virtual Ongakus. That's Alyssa.
It's me. Yeah, I don't know how many people have actually seen my face, but that's what I look like, yes.
Absolutely. So that was a killer performance. Like I said before, I never played a Persona game, but I feel like the music and the energy was very hyped. The chat loved it. I saw all kinds of emojis. Alyssa, as someone who has played Persona 4, how do you feel the album and the performance represented that game?
Oh, absolutely. It was amazing. I know, like, the feel, kind of what we were talking about, like, the feel of Persona 4 is very, like, I don't know, it's just very representative, like, the color yellow, like, it's very upbeat, it's very, like, in your face, like, yeah, like, bad stuff happens, but, you know, you just have to keep pushing on and everything, and, like, I loved every track of it. You did an amazing job, Lacey. It's so good.
Thank you, Squidster.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
We're gonna do Q&As for the chat, so if you guys got any questions from Lacey, we will definitely answer those, or Lacey will answer those for you.
Send them my way.
I got the first question. You were talking about like, how you're gonna do Persona 3. You're gonna dive more into that next. When's Persona 1 and 2 gonna happen?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's kind of a complicated answer to that. I should honestly make some Shin Megami Tensei videos. That would be kind of cool too. But we'll see. Apparently I'm just kind of working my way backward. I don't know why. That's the system I've decided to do. But there's a lot of great music in the franchise. And you know, I'm definitely willing to explore a lot of the earlier games that I haven't played yet. I really am hoping one of these days that 3 will be remastered and put out on Steam, because that was a PSP exclusive, I think, which PS2 and PSP.
I think the remade, like P3 FES.
That
one, like, and they had the one with like the female protagonist instead of the male protagonist.
That's right.
I think that one was PSP, but the other one was like originally on PS2. Yeah.
Yeah. So I gotta find a way to play some of the older games. I love the music in 3. I'm obsessed with it so much. So I'm like, any opportunity that I can delve into more of Megaro's genius, I will absolutely do it, because it is fun. Makes me feel alive.
Here's a question from Eddie the Guitarist. What brought you to YouTube to make VGM covers?
YouTube started, originally I wasn't actually doing video game music. I was just covering pop music and making mashups and loops and stuff. And I did it just to keep my recording skills sharp. It definitely wasn't like a goal to be a YouTuber. It was more so, you know, get in the habit of recording and posting something. And, you know, it's that whole strategy where eventually something will be good from just being in that habit and having a good workflow, period. And then Mario Odyssey happened, and I decided I had to cover Jump Up Superstar, and I had tracked the whole thing by ear, which was a nightmare, but it came out really great. And my friend, who worked with a pretty successful gaming YouTuber at the time, reached out to me and he said, "Hey, can we use your cover for the intro to this guy's show?" And I said, "Sure." And he said, "Actually, why don't you come on the show and then we'll make it like a whole episode?" And I went, "Okay, sure." So thank you, Kevin Kenson, for that opportunity, because that helped kind of just slingshot me into the VGM world and universe. And he was actually the one who suggested I do VGM, because he said there's a whole music scene for this. I had no idea. He's like, especially if you like video game music, why not? I'm sure people would love to hear what you have to do. So here we are, all that time later.
Eddie asked a follow-up question. Everyone else is welcome to ask questions as well, but he feels that you're incredibly underrated, and I feel like you've definitely emerged over the last year. Like, you're one of the acts that definitely took advantage of this garbage situation that we've been having since last March to really get yourself out there and create and grow your fan base. So I feel like the next step is when this pandemic really ends and more conventions and festivals happen and you get on stage, I think that's really going to blow you up. But what do you think you stand on as far as your ranking or whatever in the VGM scene?
Do I think I'm underrated? Is that the question?
I guess so.
Absolutely. No, it's fun. I mean, honestly, thank you. I'm glad everyone thinks that I make quality work. I do. I'm very proud of what I make. And it's really just a matter of time, honestly. Share with your friends. That's the easiest way to help artists out that do everything themselves and don't have money or a label behind them. It's just us. So, same way where it's like, if you have a friend who likes video game music or in the future when there's conventions and events that host video game music, go and support those people because it's people like me all just trying to make their way and grow an audience and just share this with everybody. And I have a lot of plans for 2022 that I can't talk about yet, but very big and very exciting IRL plans that are happening.
Okay.
And also too, just as a kind of on top of that, I am actually playing a live show for anyone in the San Diego Vista area. I'm playing a live show on the 30th. So next weekend, you can see me actually play some of these new songs there as well. So it's already starting. It's already beginning.
I guess that partially answers Lame Genie's questions. What up, Lame Genie? Alyssa.
Hi, friend.
Lame Genie, speaking of this garbage situation, how are the clubs out there? Is California opened? I believe the answer is yes, obviously.
It's opening up little by little. I'd say things are really starting to pick up steam now. Cases are a lot farther down in California and things are looking a lot better. So the events, we just went to Brew Game Plus last weekend, which was so much fun and everyone was so safe and took extra measures to make sure that, everyone was comfortable. And we had, I think there was 8 or 9 bands too. So, I mean, it was quite a large event and everything started kind of just picking up speed and, there's a lot planned. So it's good. It's a good thing. Things are looking a lot better.
I want to give quick shout outs real quick. Speaking of Brew Game Plus, I want to give quick shout outs to Ian Lucky of Patient Corgi, who organized the show. He's also in Kirby's Dream Band and the Tom Berries. I just had him on my podcast, Nerd Music and Melting, and check out that interview. But doing that kind of show, that is a massive undertaking. We were able to sneak out a show in July with you, Lacey. How did you feel about that, looking back at it?
That was literally one of the most fun nights of my life. It's so crazy because I'm a Californian who's never been to Florida. So I was experiencing Florida in the summer for the first time.
It's hot.
But honestly, it was hot. It was hot. It was hotter than I'm used to, definitely. But I don't know. It somehow just played into the energy of that night. Like the club was really well packed and attended. And yet again, everyone was very safe and it didn't feel weird. It felt great. It felt awesome to be back in a big group of people. And I didn't know how I was going to feel just being social again, because definitely we very much locked down. And especially in California, it was really like nothing was open sort of thing. So it was absolutely outstanding to go to Florida and perform for the Ongaku Overdrive community. I felt so welcomed and so loved, and I obviously had a great time. If you saw that clip, I was flipping my whole body on stage. I was knocking things over. I was having a great time on stage. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to kind of taking everything back into the live element again and being able to connect with audiences, because it's my favorite thing in the world to do, virtual or otherwise. It's my favorite thing to do.
I have a question about your experience in Florida, actually.
Yes.
Did you ever make it out to Gatorland?
I did make it out to Gatorland.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So, friends, for everyone who wasn't in our conversation. So the one thing besides having an amazing show and hanging out with everybody, which was honestly amazing, I wanted to see an alligator because I was in Florida and that's just what a tourist does in Florida. I wanted to see an alligator. So
she asked me a lot of questions when I picked her and picked her up from the airport.
Well, I wanted to see one. I was like, are they just on the side of the road? Do I have to go somewhere? You know, I wanted to see a gator. I was committed. So we found a wonderful attraction called Gatorland, which was very close to where we were staying. And we had the most magical day there. And I created so many memories. And it was such a blessing. If anyone is in Orlando, Florida, go to Gatorland. You will not regret it. I had a wonderful day there. And then we got on a plane right after. So.
From Gatorland to the airport. I love it. The other cool part, we got to introduce you to my favorite part of Orlando, Florida, Arcade Monsters. We got to do that too while you're here.
So dope. That was such a cool place. I want to go back there so bad.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We'll figure it out next year. We'll figure it out. Let's see. Are there other questions? Rhythm Bastard had a question. I'm going to scroll up.
Hi, Rhythm Bastard. I'm a big fan of yours, by the way.
Oh,
I'm really glad
what's
you're
up?
in here.
That's right. He asked best boy and best girl in Persona 4.
Oh my God. Oh no. Oh. Oh no. This is gonna start a
question.
Uh-oh. Okay. Well, my best girl is Yukiko Amagi. I love her so much. I think she is so sweet. Oh, my best boy is. It might have to be Kanji. I'm not going to lie. I love him. I love him so much. And his dialogue is so well written and translated. And I just adore him. I love every moment that he is on screen.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I loved Kanji's whole arc. Like, I thought that was just such a very... Kanji's the correct answer. Yes. I was going to say Kanji's my best boy, too. But yeah, I just... Especially, like, the way that they handled Kanji and Naoto also. Like, that's one of my favorite parts about Persona 4, really. Like,
agreed.
That story is just like, oh, I just love that.
It's so heartwarming.
Yeah, I really don't want to, like, talk about it too much.
Yeah, no, people need to
very important.
Everyone should play Persona 4. I was one of those people. I was like, oh boy, another Persona game. Let me commit, 6 months of my life. But honestly, Persona 4, I'm saying this right now, is my favorite Persona game. And the reason is because you meet all these characters and they are so human and relatable and interesting. It's like, I didn't hate any of the characters in this game. And I can't say the same for Persona 5. I haven't played Persona 3 as extensively, but it's like no character was grating on me, and I feel like that is kind of the underlying theme of Persona 4 too, is like you really get to know the good and the bad of all of these characters. And the whole point is to celebrate both, because that's what makes all of us human and people. And it's wonderful. Play Persona 4. It's on Steam. It's like $20 on Steam. It's really one of the best games I've played in many, many years.
Definitely agree. I feel like Persona 4 had a lot more focus. If you're comparing 4 and 5, right? Because I think those are sort of like...
Those are the ones most people have played, I would say.
Yeah. I think 4 definitely definitely takes the time to make all of these characters like super fleshed out. And I have to say, like, that's something that, like, I love Persona 5, but I think that's something I was like, oh, I wish there was just a little bit more depth. But it's like, it's hard because I think with Persona 5, it's such like big picture, like big things that are happening in the world are the things you should be worrying about. But Persona 4 is like, this is such a small town, it's so intimate,
Well, and that's kind of the beautiful thing. So if you play both, which again, everyone should, if you can, they're wonderful games. Persona 4 is an inward, introspective journey. Persona 5 is an outward, extra, like knowing what's around you, knowing how to deal with the world around you and how things happen. That is what these games are about. So it's definitely very different experiences, because I get asked that question all the time too, because I've played Persona 5 a lot. Several playthroughs, like, speed running difficulties just to try and get different endings with people. And like, it's, you'll never play it the same way, which is interesting. Like you could play the same game 3 different times and have very different choices, and it will feel like a new experience every time, which is very cool. I think that a game can do that.
The real Luigi has a comment about that show in July. He was there. He says, you were very friendly when I spoke to you, and then you definitely rocked hard during your set. I want to make sure you got that message.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Real Luigi.
Yeah, he's the homie. Good people. And another question from Eddie. How do you feel about customizing your guitar? Is that something that you plan to do? Because we had DJ Joe on that same show, and you both have the same model guitar, same color originally. Then he changed the color of his guitar right before the show, which infuriated me on the inside. So I was hoping I'd get the matching guitar photo or whatever with you two. But it is what it is. But do you feel like doing anything with it?
Yeah, I have installed I have an LED module under the key bed actually. I need to get more in the habit of remembering to turn that on before I start playing, but I do have it. It runs under the keys so it lights through the keys. So I have that set up. And then we have talked about customizing the blade before. Someone at a show that I played once called it the Soul Edge from Soul Calibur, and so I haven't been able to stop having the red for now. But the gray that comes with it too looks like the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII. So I don't know. It's I would love to have a billion different colors, honestly. So at Roland, help me with that, please, because I would love to. I'd love to have so many colors. I have a friend who plays one, and she has a green strip that she uses, and she green screens it sometimes for videos, and you can get so creative with customization. So eventually, yes, we will have a custom blade of some fashion, but it's a commitment. I have to decide. So for now, the Soul Edge is what it is.
There you go. If there's any other questions in the chat, please drop them. Otherwise, I got one. So you just dropped the Midnight channel, and of course, you're always releasing stuff on YouTube. You mentioned before that you're releasing another Persona 4 music video. Is that correct?
Yeah, I dropped one. I dropped one today on YouTube, which is for Your Affection, and then sometime in the near future, we'll drop one for Signs of Love. But we definitely have a few videos before that, so probably in November you can look forward to that too. But there's videos for every single other video. Every single other track on the album you can find videos for on my YouTube. I even have them in a playlist, so you can just
there you go.
Hit play and go. And a lot of people do from the analytics. I can read that, so thank you all for that so much.
Did those video views inspire you or have any influence on you deciding to collect it all into an album?
Oh, absolutely. So here's the thing. I covered Reach Out to the Truth first for my friend. Like, it was literally for my friend David. And I said, hey, buddy, you bought me this game. Let me cover, Reach Out to the Truth. That seemed to be the one that I liked the most, that the internet liked. I was like, it's in Smash. People must like it. So I did it. I did not expect the response that I got on that video, even slightly. That was one, numbers upon numbers. Like, it was exponential from where we were in our growth. And so I said, well, geez, I didn't realize people like Persona 4 so much. Let me try some other ones. And then it kind of just became this thing, people requesting songs from 4 and 3 and Persona Q and like everything. And I'm like, okay, well, geez, y'all want Persona. Okay, well, I like Persona. Let's keep this going. And it did. It just kind of evolved into that. And like I said, next thing we knew, I'd covered 8 songs and was like, we're really close to a full album. Let's just do 2 more and call it there. And there we are. There's still more songs though. That's the craziest thing. There's a lot more songs in 4. So like I'm saying, this could just be the first installment. I don't know.
There you go. Eddie asked if you're planning to do more collabs, which I'm pretty sure we all know the answer to that question, but what do you got coming up, Lacey, in that regard?
Say that for me one more time.
If you're gonna do more collabs.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. There is a mega collab dropping, I think, Saturday on Noteblock's channel that everyone in this chat should check out. Everyone in this chat should check out because I think there's 80 people on that video. It's huge. It's like the biggest Super Smash Brothers video that I've ever heard of happening.
I saw that on Twitter.
So I might be part of, I don't know, I might be part of that. You might want to just take a look at Noteblock's channel because that's going to be pretty cool. I did just do a Kingdom Hearts collab with my friend Longest Solo Ever on his channel. Dean is a wonderful human being. If you do not know who Longest Solo Ever is, you must go check out his channel immediately. He's amazing. That was really fun. We did Simple and Clean in a metal style, so that was a lot of fun to do.
I love that song.
I do too. I've covered it several times in every style. But that's a cool one. Yeah, and I always say this, no matter how busy life gets, I love working with people. So if you have a flexible timeline and you want to make a collab together, you're welcome to email me, and we can work on making that happen. But as I always say too, I've mentioned this, I think, on every podcast I've ever been on. If you want to collab with somebody, doesn't matter who, be specific, have a deadline, and set your expectations. So if you want to do a video, say that right away. If you want to just record a song, say that right away, because that helps anybody establish how much time it'll take. So just putting that door out there. It's good to know.
Another question from Eddie. When you're not making music, what do you do to just relax leisurely?
What do I do? What's free time? We've been playing Metroid Dread lately. That's been really fun. I have really been enjoying that. I think we're pretty close to the end too.
Okay, no spoilers, but love the game.
Yeah, no spoilers, because I heard the ending is bananas, so I'm very excited about that.
Fucking is. There's a lot of reveals in this game, like as far as significant storyline events for Metroid fans. This game does not skimp on that, so I love it.
I'm very, very excited about that. Tomorrow I'm very excited. I'm going to the Final Fantasy VII orchestral performance in LA. I'm very, very excited.
I went to that last Saturday here in Orlando at the Dr. Phillips Center. It was a good damn time. It was a damn good time.
I was living through your social media because I was like, oh, that's gonna be me next week. I'm so excited. And what's neat is Yosh, who sang Hollow, is gonna be at this concert. So I'm very excited about that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had a different singer, but like it was still cool to have that on the show. And that
I was gonna say I wouldn't care who. I'm sure it's amazing.
they play a lot of good stuff. I'm not gonna say which ones, but they have stuff that's obviously in the original game, stuff that's in the remake, and some surprises too I was not expecting. So I think you're gonna enjoy it.
I will be crying the entire time. So the answer to this question, I love to listen to music, live music being my favorite thing to listen to, especially Final Fantasy music. I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy. And I went to Distant Worlds a few years ago and I cried the entire time during the intermission, the whole thing. I was so overwhelmed. So I already know Final Fantasy VII is one of my favorite OSTs ever. And so I just know it's going to be like just so emotional, and I will love every second of it. So I'm very excited about that. That'll be cool.
If you guys already feel your emotion from here, like I can feel the emotion you're already feeling for this thing that you're gonna go see.
I'll probably cry the whole way up to LA. I'll probably cry while we're waiting in line. Like it's a mess. But I loved it's just the thing that evokes so much pure emotion out of me. I just love it so much.
If you guys in the chat get the chance to see an orchestra play video game music live, no matter what it is an incredible experience. They also they'll bring in guests from the game, either in person or in video form. They'll have all the gameplay footage and moments on the big screen of the amphitheater that you're at. It's a great production, like whether it be Distant Worlds or Video Games Live or Symphony of the Goddesses, which is the Zelda one, or Pokemon Evolution. Like they're all incredible productions. So
they're so worth the time too. And what I love so much, Distant Worlds was a really cool experience. That was my first video game symphony like that. And what they do, which I don't know if everyone knows, they actually work with everyone is local. So it's the local orchestra, it's a local choir. Everyone is to that area. Because my friend who was in the UCLA women's choir at the time sang at Distant Worlds, and she reached out to me. Yeah, she reached out to me and she's like, "Don't you love Final Fantasy?" And I went, "Yes, why are you asking?" And so she's like, "Well, I'm singing this song called One Winged Angel." And I was like, "Oh my God." So it's really cool. Very worthwhile event. Very cool to go to.
Oh yeah, they had a choir at the show. Like Luigi fan pointed that out too. Yes, this concert's going to have a choir. It's going to be awesome.
I'm so excited. I mean, I will be sobbing the whole time.
So our Rhythm
I'm gonna follow your social media.
Rhythm Bastard asked another question. What's your favorite game of the year so far? Is it Metroid Dread or something else?
Oh, that's a great question. Probably. Oh, Life is Strange True Colors was really good too. I really enjoyed that. I cried in that one too. I cry as my emotional response, apparently. That's just what I do. But we've really been enjoying Dread a lot. It's just like I saw someone comment earlier, yes, one of my dream cosplays is Samus. I would absolutely love to cosplay Samus. And so this has just been giving me all the ideas. Super Metroid is one of Peter and my favorite games ever. So I mean, it's so cool to see a 2D modern Metroid scroller like this. Of course, I'll still be patient and wait for Prime eventually, but it's been such a great game, just so like on point in every way.
It's definitely a love letter to the Metroid franchise, and I think one of the things they really addressed in there, like I think a commonality in the Metroid games for a lot of people is it's so easy to get lost, but I feel like this game does a very good job of subtly guiding you of where you're supposed to go next. And I think
yeah, it does.
Yeah, so I never really got lost once some of the boss battles are really tricky, but then when you figure them out, you feel like a badass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when we like figure out one of the puzzles first try, we're both like, "Ugh, like yes, we did it." Like we are the best.
I feel like for people who haven't played all the Metroid games, like, hi, sorry to admit.
No, it's okay. Me neither. Just the ones I have. Yep.
Yeah, like I haven't really played that many, but like, is it a good game to like sort of play if you aren't really familiar with like Metroid lore, or like, would you recommend playing it?
I think so. I mean, I don't think it's incredibly narrative heavy because there's a great recap in the beginning, which immediately references the Game Boy Advance game, which I know about because Peter just beat it. So I'm familiar with the lore, but I didn't even need it because the whole recap at the beginning is so on it. It's so perfect at just telling you what you need to know. I think it's fun if you have reference because then, you know, if there's other characters or things that have been referenced before, then it's kind of a fun like, but it's not essential. So it's great. It's honestly, I'd say it's a great one to get into for Metroid.
I think Fusion, the Game Boy Advance game that you mentioned, is the most beginner-friendly Metroid game. So that might also be a good place to start as well. And that's directly before Dread in the timeline.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, because it looks really good. So I'm like,
yeah, it's cool.
Maybe I'll consider it.
It's cool. Yeah,
it is.
It's fun. So down the wire, you're gonna have stuff on YouTube as usual. What are some games that you'll be messing with on your channel that people can look forward to?
Oh, y'all want sneak peeks? Okay. So Persona 3. I've got something that's almost done too, so that'll be soon. We have some more Deltarune Chapter 2 coming up.
Oh, of course.
I love this track. So that'll be a really fun one. That'll be when I do live future as well. We do have some Metroid actually. There's a boss theme that I took it upon myself to just start after playing in Dread, and I love it. I think it's really, really cool. What are some of the other ones I was looking at? I may meme around and actually do something from Wave Racer 64.
That'd be awesome.
It's funny. I have like the exact track in my mind. I even listened to it on the drive down to Brew Games Plus, and I was like, God, this would be so like natural. It would just be the exact like translation from, you know, the cartridge to your ears. It would just be so perfect. So that'll happen eventually. And then the last thing that I'm hoping to get out by the end of the year is actually from Doom. So heck yeah. Got a lot of variety going on.
What about the one track you told me and brother Q about? I won't reveal what game it's from.
Oh yes,
you know
that too. That too. That is coming along.
Very good.
Yes, that track, which no one. You'll see. You'll like it. I promise.
It'll be cool.
Ken can back me up. Yeah.
It's a good choice of song for Lacey. So that one I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be great.
Oh, I was gonna say I do have a question. Because you know, you do put a lot of videos out and you put it out like pretty quickly. But I was thinking, like, have you considered doing like a visual album or like doing something like sort of like with I guess concept album or something like that? You know,
I haven't, but I will now.
no.
That's interesting. I've never thought about doing that actually.
Because you were talking about like, oh, my hand slipped and now there are 8 Persona covers. Like it just like came out like so naturally. So like the first thing that came to mind was like, oh, what if like, you know, like visual album almost of like would be kind of cool, you know. So
noted.
Okay.
No, you know, that's the funny thing. I know some people have their whole release strategy and things planned out ahead of time. I'm not really that way. I don't keep myself on too crazy of like a schedule. So if something really inspires me and makes me want to sit down and work on it for like 14 hours in a day, I'm just going to put everything aside and do that because that's, you know, the point of life. It's like art is spontaneous and sometimes the best things happen literally all at once. So
I feel like it's more almost like a more genuine presentation because it's like, this is what I'm like really fired up about, and I got this done in 2 days, and I want you all to be happy with it, and like I want to share with you how I feel about this thing. You know, it almost makes it more...
You know, when I started YouTube, I tried to beat the algorithm, right? And this is, I'd say, a story for anyone who has worked in YouTube, period, or wants to start a YouTube channel. I used to try and plan to do things for views. I used to try and plan out releases when games were coming out, and while all that can be very smart, it just didn't feel authentic to me because I don't always play what is popular. I sometimes will pick stuff that I just like, or specifically even with some of these Persona 4 songs, Backside of the TV is a track that's literally in one section of the game. It's like an area you're in for maybe 30 seconds, unless you're like me and you just stand there for like an hour and let it loop. But, you know, I think it's important to really do what inspires you and to find the covers that make you feel alive and the covers that make you get lost, or the music that just makes you get lost in what you do. And genuinely, every single thing I make is that way. I don't try and do what everybody's doing. Somehow it works out that way with some things. But it's like, you know, I really like doing things that are amazing and exciting to me. And especially like when you've been playing music for so long or covering songs for a while, it's hard to find those sparks all the time. So, you know, I feel like, I could have 4 or 5 covers already planned. But if something literally throws a wrench in my plans and I'm like, I have to just all hands on deck, I need to record this immediately because the idea is just so attractive in my mind, then I'll do that. And I will just listen to it over and over again and annoy everyone around me.
The other thing I'll be at is Magfest, Lacey. I'm not going to ask if they've sent you any emails or invites or anything, but will we see you on Magfest Island in January?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yay!
And Alyssa, you'll be there too,
excited.
right?
It's my first one. I'm very, very excited. So I will absolutely be there. Where I'm so excited for Magfest. So if you're going, I will be there. Let's say hi, get dinner, whatever. I'm very excited.
Dress warm. Yes,
I know.
Very cold.
I know. I'm terrified, but it'll be like 70 degrees here. So I'm like, oh, I got to prepare. Layers.
1 year it was like negative degrees, and it's like the hotel is on an island. It's right next to the Potomac River, I believe. And 1 year the actual river froze because it was so cold. It was nuts.
Remember, the last one wasn't even that cold in the grand scheme of things.
No,
but
the last year was great.
Yeah, and I was like wearing a cosplay. I was like all long sleeves. I got a wig. I have everything. I'm still layered under it, and I'm like, I'm so cold.
Oh my god! Yeah, God help me, but we
layer
will
up
be there. I will be layered, but I will be there.
Okay, so Lacey and Peter, I'm guessing, will be joining you for that.
Yes, Peter will be there too. So.
Awesome. Magfest is a very unique experience. I've been to a lot of conventions, but there's nothing out there like Magfest.
Yeah, we're very excited.